録画ボタンを押すのを忘れちゃってました。なんか港の方まで来ちゃってるんですけど、ここで船長さんと会って、船長さんどっか行っちゃいました。酔っ払って。登れそうなはしご。ここまで行けるんだろう。ここまでか。
Why is access to the boats blocked?
この視界が本当にあれだね。建物の中には入れなさそう。あれ、船長かな？あっちあっち。ここまたあれなんだろう。行ったり来たり行ったり来たりしながら謎を解くんだろうな。
The way they treat the nomads around here is terrible.
Everyone's been surly the last few months.
なんででしょう。
Living here is unbearable sometimes of late. Everyone's been surly the last few months.
I don't have any coins. Too bad.
I hope they don't end up throwing them in the lake, Poryukal's. The way they
Nani?
treat the nomads around here is terrible. I hope they don't end up throwing them in the lake, Poryukal's.
Looking for cigars or some hooch? I'm even cheaper than the nomads. Don't go asking where it all comes from, of course.
怪しいものを売ってるんだね。こっちは行けれない。
Living here is unbearable sometimes of late. Everyone's been surly the last few months.
迷子になりそう。
No Yukos in Balsambor! The shopkeepers can't take it anymore! The shopkeepers are on strike!
There have been 10 thefts from my shop since those savages showed up! Mr. Mayor, who's gonna pay?
Mr. Mayor! Do your job and come out onto the balcony! The voters want to talk to you!
The nomads are stealing our merchandise and our customers! The Yukos don't belong in Balsambor! The shopkeepers have had enough!
Thieving Yukos in Balsambor! The shopkeepers want them out the door! Thieving Yukos in Balsambor! The shopkeepers want them out the door! Close the nomad souk! Throw them all out or we'll stay on strike!
There have been 10
The shopkeepers are on strike for the first time in ages.
That's not good business for anyone, if you want my opinion. Mayor Boya King hasn't been up to handling the situation since the catastrophe. I've said it for years.
Thieving Yukos and Valsenborg! The shopkeepers want them out the door! Thieving Yukos and Valsenborg! The shopkeepers want them out the door!
We're not leaving until you come outside to talk, Mr. Mayor!
Oh, 市役所なんだ。入れないしね。あ、オスカー。オスカーが見えない。電車がある。
What? That statue? No, it's impossible. If you were only here to see this, Oscar.
You should have seen it back when the port was still open and booming. We'd never even heard of a strike. The local economy has been completely depressed for several years. What a waste. You should have seen it back when the port was still open and booming. We'd never even heard of a strike. Oh, カメラが。
It's kicking off near the town hall. I hope it won't come down anywhere near here. That's absolutely the last thing we need. It's kicking off near the town hall. I don't like that new waitress working in the tavern at all. What with her grandfather being an old friend of the nomads and the way she turns the customers' heads, there's no way Sarah Steiner can be anything but trouble, I'm sure. I don't like that new waitress working in the tavern at all.
Welcome to our humble Valsenborg funicular station, miss.
ケーブルか。まだ乗れないよね。
Impossible, I don't believe it. He forgot to leave it open again. Kirill! Kirill! When I get my hands on him, this time he's really going to get it. impossible. I don't believe it. He forgot to leave it open again.
触れておくのを忘れている？ちょっと待って、こっちは何があんの？こっち。あ、なんか入れんね。ちょっと待って。もうここおしまいか。あ、時計職人。
Hello. Are you Mr. Steiner? I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Steiner. My name is Kate Walker, and I've come to pick up the prosthesis for Kirk, the Yukel spiritual guide.
And well, dear Miss Walker, Dr. Efimova has informed me that the young man was not yet in any sort of condition to withstand the operation, and that...
Mr. Steiner, are you all right?
It is impossible. That pendant you have around your neck. I would be very obliged if you would entrust me with it for a moment. Please, Miss Walker. Mein Gott! An XZ-2000 automaton heart in perfect working condition. A compensating spring memory. Pendulum ventricles and small mechanical pumps. Everything seems in excellent condition. Donnerwetter! Where on earth did you steal this, Miss Walker?
I did not steal it. It's a souvenir. It's all I have left of Oscar, a very dear friend.
Ah, so. And yet I am actually very familiar with this type of precision mechanism. An infernal precision. Incredible, unique expertise. For this was a Vorarlberg automaton, Miss Walker.
Yes. It was Hans Vorarlberg who designed this object. Tell me, did you know him?
Oh, yeah. He even lived here a few years. We did a lot of work together. He taught me so many different things, you know. So it is useless to try and make up silly stories, Miss Walker. And I am afraid that I am not about to allow you to leave here as long as you have not told me the truth about where this object comes from.
Don't bother locking me in, Mr. Steiner. If you must know, the truth is that Hans Vorarlberg was someone who was very important to me. I accompanied him on a very strange journey throughout Europe. And that object in your hand is the only souvenir I have of that adventure.
That proves nothing, Himmelherrgott! Hans would never have given this to...
Mr. Steiner, are you all right?
My heart... need... my medication! Quickly!
Just don't move. I'll go and get your medication right away. No medication in sight.
Make yourself right at home. Don't mind me. I just own the place.
A prototype for the clinic aviary? Who would store medication in this mess? Who would store medication in this mess?
ちょっと、あれ？あ、操作がむずい。
All that clattering must get really tiring after a while.
My heart. I need my medication.
は
Quickly.
い。うまく歩けないんですよ。どうすんのこれ。わからない。
No medication. ？That could do him more harm than good.
何これ。さらに傷つけてしまうかも。
No medication. No medication.
はい。しまえないんですけど。
Nothing that could help him. No way. That could do him more harm than good.
さらに傷つけてしまうかも。これか？
Nothing that could help him.
違うんだ。
There's no point.
ここにはない。
Empty.
Mm-hmm. あ、船。スイッチ入れちゃった。新聞の切り抜き。 これ見てみようか。読む。ザミアティン先生。スピノレロン2瓶。ラシラグジド3箱。新聞なんか見てる。暇ある？パラノール原子力発電所で事故。当局の軽視が招いたか。4月の27日、1989年4月の27日。コップの中の嵐。パラノール市長アナストリー・ミコライフ氏は、地元の原子力発電所周辺住民の懸念となっている昨日の出来事について選挙民から騒音に関する苦情を寄せられた直後、ビクトル・ロスティスラボビッチ駐工場長から個人的に聞き取りを行った。と釈明した上で、私の疑問に対して、すべて納得のいく回答が得られたと断言できる。一言で言えば大したことはないと述べた。実際にはこの警報は小規模な技術的障害が原因であったようだ。午前1時に23分に3号機の原子炉で行われた出力試験が冷却水の放射線分解を想定の範囲内で引き起こし、その結果、取るに足らないが近隣住民が不安視するには十分な小規模爆発が発生したのである。地下の浸水や施設内での火災といった噂については、ミコライフ氏はそのような噂を広げるのは純然たる反国家である。と毅然とした態度で強く否定した上で、美しいこの地の経済と産業にとって原子力の重要性を考えれば、仮に噂のような深刻な事故が起こったとしても軽く受け止めたりするだろうか、と安心を訴えた。市議会議員は、現実には現在の原発システムは非常に発達しているため、事故、それに過失、取り返しのつかない過失。これは統計的にまず起こり得ません。と補足した。責任者とロスティスラボビッチ氏に確認を取ったところ、市もこれに同意した。またエネルギー庁と連絡を取っていることも認めたが、同庁は心配には及ばないとしている。ウラジーミル・マイコーフ特派員。パラノール遊園地の入場者数が過去最高を記録。5万枚。昨年パラノール遊園地が開園して以来入場券が売れた枚数である。バルセンブル市長に再選したばかりのピョートル・ブリアキン氏は地域に与える影響を歓迎しており、釣りの惨劇、死因審問の判定。作刀は世間の感情が揺さぶられた。氷上釣りのため弟と湖へ出かけたレオナリ諸君は氷の下に転落して悲劇的な溺死を遂げた。犠牲者の小さな弟の証言にもかかわらず、死因審問はこれを事故と断定し、ここに来る前に灯台のそばでね、釣りをしてるおじいさんがいたんですよ。その人のお兄さんが、海の怪物に、海に引き込まれてしまったっていうことをね、おっしゃってたんですね。ちょっと録画取れなかったんですけど、薬だよ、薬。足だ。
Kirk's prosthesis, but it looks like it isn't finished.
完成してないのね。 出しとかもないし、やばい。今何撮ったんですか？ない。使う？使えないでしょ？あ、時計仕掛けで出てくるとか？ちょっとね、これね、どうしたらいいんだろう。あ、開けられる。蓋が開けられる。何時っつったっけ、処方箋。あ、ちょっと待って、こっち。操作むずいんだけど。何時っつったっけ。観察、読む。毎日できればお茶の時間に服用。お茶の時間って何時？ここの地域では。何時？3時になると落ちてくんじゃないの？わかんないけど。1分待つの？ 3 時とは言えないよね。何も教えてくれないんだもん。当たり前か。4時になっちゃった。バックできない。難しいのよ。そうさ。これ見たでしょ？もう一回下行く？
Kirk's prosthesis, but it looks like it isn't finished. A woman's writing saying, "Grandfather, don't forget to take your medication 3 hours before dinner." A woman's writing saying, "Grandfather, don't forget to take your medication 3 hours before dinner."
食事の3時間前。 6時の3時間前って何時？食事ってだいたい6時とか7時？7時だとして3時間前で4時。じゃあ5時。合わせるのむずっ。ああ、びっくりしたー。びっくりした。
Thank you for your precious help, my dearest Miss Walker. I'm afraid I may have judged you somewhat hastily.
Don't mention it, Mr. Steiner. Tell me about the prosthesis. I need to take it back to Kirk very quickly, if, of course, you agree to let me have it.
Yeah. I just have a few small adjustments to make. It involves very precise and meticulous mechanics, understand?
Will it take long? I'm sorry to insist, but I also have to give a hand to those unfortunate Yukos. I need to help them get across the lake with their herd of ostriches. I'm so worried about them.
Once the mechanical leg is at last ready, I can go to the clinic and bring back young Kirk to you. That way you only have to worry about what happens to the other Yukos.
ありがとうなんだけど、なぜ協力を？
That's so nice of you, Mr. Steiner. But why are you doing this?
I wasn't extremely nice to you earlier. And also the way the Yukos are treated by the other townsfolk here, in my own town, disgusts me. So I want to help those poor devils, even if I am in no way absolutely certain they should be crossing the lake.
What on earth's the matter, Mr. Steiner?
The next stage of your journey is the poor cursed town of Baranor. It has become hell on earth since the time of the last great ostrich migration.
Please join me downstairs for a moment, Miss Walker. I'll show you exactly what I mean.
何があったんだろうね。
Tools that would have suited Hans.
あ、ここにある映写機。 あれ
Baranor, the cursed city. Baranor, the martyred town. Baranor has been nothing but a field of ruins and desolation since a week after the explosion of reactor number 3 in the nuclear power plant. Baltimore is on the other side of the lake, sheltered from the prevailing wind, and fortunately it seems to have been spared from the deadly radioactive clouds. Our town was mobilized to go to the aid of our neighbors. Although our town's means were modest when compared to such catastrophe, there were nonetheless among us some brilliant mechanical engineers. In record time, they developed a small army of automatons capable of helping the affected people. Those men and dogs of steel could go where a human could no longer set foot without becoming seriously ill. Over there, they could be excavators, rescue workers, and treasure bearers.
These automatons look just like my friend Oscar. I guess people put that statue up in the square in their honor.
Yeah. Truly magnificent pieces, nicht wahr? The XZ2000 model is most assuredly one of Hans's major masterpieces.
Their mission was to bring back any survivors of the catastrophe to Baltimore, where the victims would receive the best care in Dr. Zamyatin's clinic. The Crystal, the ferry usually responsible for linking the towns of Baltimore and Baranor every day, carried the new type of rescuers to the scene of the drama and brought back the survivors of the catastrophe.
So Baranor suffered the ravages of a nuclear accident. But according to that film, the automatons you designed with Hans should have helped save lots of lives, right?
I'm afraid that's not how things went. Because of Captain Obo. Ah, that must be Sarah. Please come this way, Miss Walker. I'll introduce you.
ああ、いいところだったのに。これはまだだよね。
Miss Walker, may I introduce you to Sarah, my granddaughter?
Nice to meet you, Sarah. My name's Kate Walker.
I actually owe Miss Walker a candle. Thanks to her calmness and peace of mind, I'm still here and on my feet. She found my medication and gave it to me before it was too late. Donnerwetter.
You don't mean you had another attack, do you? Ah, you're being so very naughty, Grandfather. You absolutely must let Dr. Zamyatin examine you.
Come on, stay calm, my little child. When I go to the clinic to take the prosthesis to the young Yukol, I'll stop by and see the good doctor. Until then, why don't you make yourself really useful to Miss Walker? She's looking for some way to transport the Yukol caravan to the other side of the lake.
Well, I think I've already found the solution. The boat in the film, the Crystal, it must be the ship that's docked in the port. If it was able to transport the automatons you and Hans built, it could carry the ostriches across the lake.
Ah, that's not a bad idea. But unfortunately, there's a slight problem of size, dear Miss Walker.
船長が飲んだくれって
Sounds
こと
like
か
you're
な。
talking about Captain Obo's alcoholism. I saw him earlier on the dock.
That coward has been hiding himself in alcohol ever since he abandoned our automatons to Baranor. And he'd rather simply die than go back. He tells everybody that the evil monster of the lake is waiting for him, and that as soon as he goes back on the water, the beast will just up and grab him. Ha 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 ha. But of course, that is the purest fantasy.
Grandfather, I know you're still really angry with Captain Obo because he abandoned the automatons that you built with your friend Hans and Baranor. He was supposed to wait for them. They were going to take all the survivors they found in the rubble to the boat and then bring everyone here to safety in Valsambor. But in the end, when he got to the beach at Baranor and saw the disaster and all the dead, he became really afraid. The disease, the radiation, he must have had an uncontrollable panic attack, so he immediately turned back, dumped the machines on the Crystal into the lake, and came back empty-handed to Valsambor. And the automatons have been there ever since, in hell. But who knows?
Maybe today he'll want to sell. I'm sure Kate will be capable of convincing him to help the Yukels.
I have to go do my waitressing shift in the tavern. Come by and see me later on, okay? Captain Obo will be there.
All right, then. I'll try and convince Captain Obo. Thank you for everything, Mr. Steiner.
I don't know if I really should wish you good luck, dear Miss Walker. Baranur is only an open grave now.
Steiner family?
11 hours time difference. Like for New York.
「こんな広い町のどこに酒場があるんだろう」
Lost your way, pretty girl?
迷子になりそうだよ、本当に。酒場っぽいところ、なんか誰も住んでなさそう。ああ、戻ってきたね。港の方に。ちょっとずっと寝てんね。あ、入れる、入れる。
I'd rather be left here on my own if you don't mind, miss. I'm sorry, but I'm really not in the mood.
こんな気分って。
Go speak with young Sarah. She could help you. Captain Obo's got it real bad today. Poor old bastard.
All those youngsters trying to act smart to impress the Steiner girl. It really gets to me.
I'd really suggest you steer well clear of Captain Obo, miss. He's always basically drunk as a skunk.
I hope you find the tavern agreeable, miss.
We're pretty lucky with all we've been through. At least we've still got places like this.
Captain Obo?
What do you want?
迫る。解き伏せる。あ、どっちにしたって簡単にいかないんでしょ。
I'm Captain Obo and I command this here crystal. She's a damn fine boat.
じゃあ
Come
迫ろ
on,
う。
Captain. Put your bottle away for a second and listen to me. I need to use the crystal for a crossing. Your ship is big enough to take the entire Yukel caravan. And so I need you to, are you okay, Captain?
Why are you being... My God, why are you being so mean?
Well, because...
So you two, you're going to tell me I'm nothing but a gutless drunk too? Go ahead, I'm used to it.
No. Of course not. Now.
Don't bother. Just leave me the hell alone, little lady.
I don't believe it.
The lake is haunted by a demon. It's watching me. Waiting. I can feel it.
魔物釣ったりとかする
That
の
shape there in the water. What is it?
やっぱりダイオウイカがいるんじゃないの？話せない。
The crystal took across more travelers ever than any other ferry from Balsamore.
じゃあ、ユコール
The
も
monster
乗
is
せてくだ
lurking
さい
at the
よ。
bottom of the lake. That's where it sees what's happening on the surface with those red eyes.
なんか怖い思いしたんだろうな。サラちゃん、おトイレ？
I'd really suggest you steer well clear of Captain Obo, miss. He's always basically drunk as a skunk.
I'm not standing here because I'm happy, you know, miss.
面白い。こっちはない。
Is everything okay, Kate?
Not really. I'd like to ask Captain Obo if the Yukon caravan can go on board his boat to cross over to Baranor. But I can't get a straight answer. He's completely sloshed.
I'm sorry, miss, but I really think you're wasting your time. He's getting drunk again to forget his crimes, like he always does. To forget he wasn't brave the way a captain should be. Can you believe it? In Baranor, he just picked up and abandoned his passengers. And I know, he'll never want to see that cursed place again.
I'm not sure that's true, lad. Even if he does drink a lot, the captain's a pretty good guy. Say the right thing, and you may be able to convince him.
If I'm ever lucky enough to find him sober, even for a moment, I need that drunkard to listen to me.
Maybe I can help you with that. I'll make him one of my famous small restoratives. After that, he'll want to sleep for 3 days, but at least his mind will be clear.
I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much, both of you.
Don't mention it. The way the Yukols are treated here is an absolute disgrace, so if we can help out...
ちょっとね、これ聞い
Who
てみ
knows
た
what
いな、オー
became
ト
of the
マト。
victims and automatons the captain abandoned?
No, everybody hates the captain for that. But nobody volunteered to take the helm of the crystal in his place to pick up the survivors. If there are any left in Baranor, they're all dead now, that's for sure.
Grandfather says that the automatons would have broken down really quickly with nobody to maintain them.
Has Captain Obo taken the crystal out of port since leaving Baranor?
He's been far too drunk ever since then for that.
And anyway, the port's been closed since the tragedy of Baranor 20 years ago.
Do you think the crystal is still in sailing condition after all this time?
I'm sure there'll be a few repairs to do, but Obo never stopped keeping it in shape, you know. He loves his boat, despite everything.
Do you know why Captain Obo fled Baranor?
He must have been completely traumatized by what he saw there. The catastrophe, the victims, and then the radiation. He unloaded the automatons on the beach, but he didn't expect they'd bring the survivors back right then. He just cracked, completely snapped. Full astern and goodbye all. Can you even imagine?
Afterwards, he came up with that story of a sea monster appearing and attacking his boat.
Yes, the old legend of the monster of the lake. Convenient, isn't it? Go see the captain. Sarah will bring you the restorative when it's ready.
Take this, Captain. This one's on the house.
My God! This pisswater unbattens the hatches, swabs the deck, and opens the portholes. Hello, Miss.
My name is Kate Walker, Captain Obo. We met each other earlier.
To what do I owe the honor of your presence at the table of the regrettably famous Captain Obo? I'm listening, miss.
I have to stop the captain from rambling on. I'm gonna have to be firm.
So what? Nothing more to add, then?
The captain seems rather depressed. It would probably be a good idea to go easy on him.
Why are you still here if you don't want to talk?
The captain seems rather depressed. It would probably be a good idea to go easy on him.
迫りたいところだけど、
This
丸
is
め
good
込ん
news,
でみよう
Captain.
か。
You're back at the starting block again. You have a new beginning, a new dawn.
Now that's a good show of spirit, Miss Walker. What'll you be having now? It's my round.
Everybody here hates the captain. I need to try to make him feel better.
So what? Nothing more to add, then?
The captain knows he's despised in Valsambor. I'll tell him he can change all that. I'd rather you listen to me. You're my only hope of finding a solution to my problem.
Do tell me about it, please, miss.
Because the Yukels and their ostriches are stuck here in Valsambor, it's causing a serious problem among the people in your community. Plus, the nomads have to continue their great journey. Only you, Captain Obo, can defuse the situation by taking them on board the crystal.
You're very wrong, Miss Walker. Everybody will tell you that I'm incapable of giving a hand to anyone. Right. Go on.
Poor Captain. I think a little sympathy might do him some good. I can't let him start feeling sorry for himself. I gotta shake him out of it.
Why are you still here if you don't want to...
You're right, Captain. It's safe to say that people don't have a particularly high opinion of you. But I think you're afraid to know where I want to take the Yukels.
Listen to her. All right, then.
反感を
Tell
買っ
me
ちゃっ
where
た
Miss
の。
Walker actually wants me to take her in my old tub.
To Baranor.
I'm a broken man because of what I saw back there that night, miss. A sad
正
wreck
直
of a
さは
man.
評価された。
You're asking me to go back. Back there. Back to hell. I saw the hellish red eyes of the monster of the lake. Beast as big and long as my boat. Ask your Yukol friends what they think about it. They call it the Kilak, the evil spirit of the lake. The devil guarding the doorway to hell.
Well, let's just look at it like a second chance. What do you say?
No. Never.
In that case, I'll buy the crystal.
What makes you think she's up for sale?
You've left her in the port to rot. She's completely run down. You haven't the money to keep her shipshape. I have money, and I need that ferry.
She's a ferry, not a liner. The girl wants to take the helm of the crystal. Now I've heard everything.
I know that if the Proud Crystal had an equally proud commander at her helm, things would go better. But as you don't want to go on a voyage...
All right, all right. You can get your gang of little savages and board the crystal. I'll take you.
Oh, thank you, Captain, really, with all my heart. And thank you on behalf of the Yukos.
Oh, but be careful now, Captain Girl. You're not there yet. There are 2 conditions, and they aren't negotiable. First, we stop by Naldas. It's a little town just a bit south of Baranor. That will mean we avoid the most radioactive zones, but it won't actually take you too far off your path. And second, we also sail by day. I'm not going to finish up on the lake monster's plate. And it sleeps during the day. The beast is usually a bit of a night owl anyway.
I accept, Captain Obo.
In that case, all hands on deck now, sailor, because we've got work to do before we can hoist the anchor.
Come on, Kate. You hurry off and meet with the captain before he changes his mind. I'll go tell Grandfather to join you on board the Crystal with Kirk.
Thank you, Sarah.
ありがとう、サラ。なんかすごいことが運んだね。なんか話しといた方がいいのかな。
I was sure the captain would end up by saying yes. Good luck with the preparations, Kate.
ありがとう、サラ。
I'd really suggest you steer well clear of Captain Obo, miss. He's always basically drunk as a skunk. 加工しなくていいのかな。一通り見たのかな。東大のおじいさんは僕がし忘れちゃったからね。新聞の一番下に載ってた記事の人。あっちか。
You want some advice, miss? It's always bad to go stirring up the past. It's because of the lake monster that the locks are closed. 20 years the port's been left to rot. Damn Baranur. I thought I had a nibble, but it was just my hook getting stuck. I should have seen the lake 20 years ago, before the catastrophe. It was really something. You want some advice, miss? It's always bad to go stirring up the past.
これだね。